My nephew's accidental drowning wasn't so accidental, and my sister knew exactly who pushed him. I was folding Danny's tiny Superman t-shirts when Sarah called, her voice hollow and strange like someone had scooped out her insides with a rusty spoon. "Danny's in the hospital," she said. "He nearly drowned at the lake." My stomach dropped through the floor. Danny was only 8, but he'd been swimming since he could walk. That kid was practically part fish, spending entire summers underwater at my pool, holding his breath for 2 minutes straight while I timed him on my phone. He had a wall full of swimming ribbons and could do butterfly strokes better than most adults. The idea of him drowning was like saying a bird forgot how to fly. "What happened?" I asked, already grabbing my keys and purse. "He just went under. The lifeguards pulled him out. He's unconscious, Lisa. They don't know if he's going to wake up." I drove the 43 minutes to Regional Medical Center in 28, my knuckles white on the steering wheel, running through every possible scenario. Heat stroke, sudden cramp, some kind of seizure, but nothing made sense. Danny was healthy, strong, and more comfortable in water than on land. Sarah stood in the ICU waiting room, still in her wet bikini covered by a hospital gown. Mascara streaked down her cheeks like black tears. But something was fundamentally wrong with the picture. In all our 32 years as sisters, I'd never seen her this composed during a crisis. When our childhood dog Max died, she sobbed for 2 weeks straight. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. When she broke her wrist in high school, she hyperventilated so badly they had to sedate her. Now her only child was fighting for his life in a medically induced coma, and she looked guilty, terrified, but not in the way a mother should be terrified. "Where's Marcus?" I asked, referring to her boyfriend of 6 months. "He had to leave for work. Emergency shift." That struck me as odd immediately. Marcus managed a Pizza Hut in our small town of Millfield. What kind of pizza emergency couldn't wait when your girlfriend's child was drowning in a hospital bed? "Sarah, what really happened out there at the lake?" She stared at the polished linoleum floor, picking at her cuticles, a nervous habit she'd had since we were kids. "I told you already. He went under. Kids do that sometimes, right? Even good swimmers." But I knew Danny better than anyone except Sarah. That kid could swim circles around most adults. He'd been on the regional swim team since he was 6 and had perfect form. The idea of him just going under was completely absurd. "Were you watching him the whole time?" "Of course I was watching him." Her voice snapped with defensive irritation. "Jesus, Lisa, what kind of mother do you think I am?" The kind who dates men who hate children, I thought, but didn't say out loud. Marcus had been in Sarah's life for exactly 6 months, and in that time, I'd watched Danny transform from a bubbly, confident kid into something quiet and withdrawn. He'd started having nightmares again. He'd begun wetting the bed at age 8 after being potty trained since he was 3. Most telling of all, he'd started clinging to Sarah whenever Marcus was around. I'd tried to bring up my concerns multiple times, but Sarah was so desperately lonely after her divorce that she refused to see any red flags. Marcus was handsome, 6'2", with dark hair and the kind of dangerous smile that made smart women do stupid things. The doctor came out 3 hours later. Danny was stable, but in a medically induced coma. There was water in his lungs and bruising on his shoulders. "Bruising?" I asked. "Could be from the rescue," the doctor said carefully. Sarah's face went white. I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.